Hello everybody, it's Wendy, and today we are going to make a necklace using products from the May 2022 Bargain Bead Box. But first, our encouraging word for today is success is not final, failure is not fatal, it's the courage to continue that counts. And that was said by Winston Churchill. And I don't know why that's not printed like everywhere all over the world. I've never seen that one before, but it's a good one. Okay, so Bargain Bead Box, it's a monthly beading subscription service delivered straight to your door for $20 a month. This month's beads were a $65 value. We got 19 different items, among them gemstones, metals, just all kinds of good stuff. And when you subscribe to their box, you get a 30% off coupon to use in their sister store. And you can use that all month long, and they have really great prices in their store. So yeah, it's a great deal. I have a coupon code as well. Wendy2 will get you $2 off of either your first month subscription or your first order in their store. But you can only use it once, so use it wisely. But anyway, we are going to make a necklace. So here's what you're going to need if you want to make this. They had these beautiful lampworked beads, and I thought these were just so gorgeous. We're going to be using them. I've got 4 of the quartz beads. We may use more. I have several of these little lime green bicones. And then I have some of these coin beads that they sent. So we may use more of these things. We may use less. It just depends. But those are the beads that I've pulled out. And I've got more over here if I need to pull them out. Okay, as far as metals go, you're going to need some stringing wire, and I have got 7-strand bead-alon. This is in copper. And then I'm using the large connector, one of them from the box. I'm going to be using this leaf drop or connector. We'll be using 2 of these smaller ones. I'm using the toggle ring, actually looks like 3, maybe 4 of those. Where'd the other? Is there another one? No. Okay. I've got an extra toggle ring, and then I have the full toggle set. So I'm not using the bar. This is just the ring on this part, but we do have the full set there. We'll be using some of this chain. I've got 4 bead caps. I have an eye pin, or 2 eye pins here from the box, and then I have several ball head pins. Just for my own stash. So you can use any head pins you have. I'm just using ball head pins because they're easy to make a wrapped loop. I have 4 wire guardians and 4 2x2 crimp tubes. And I think, other than your jewelry tools, that's all you're going to need. Now, if you don't have wire guardians, they're not necessary. They're optional. If you don't have ball head pins, you can use regular head pins. That's not a big deal, okay? So just pull out what you've got. If you have the box and you want to make this exact same necklace, this is what you're going to need. Pull those things out, and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is create this focal piece. So I'm setting a bunch of this other stuff aside. Let's see, all of those. We're going to use a couple of these down here. All the other beads are going up there. Okay, so here's what you're going to need for the focal. Probably some ball head pins. And I think that's it. We'll see how it goes. So, oh, and you're going to need jump rings. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention them because I hadn't pulled them out yet. Let me get my tower down here. Okay, jump rings. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this leaf connector and attach it right onto our big connector with a jump ring. And let's see here. Let's see if this looks like about a 4mm. Let me see if it'll work for this. I like to use small jump rings, not so much big ones. And actually, we're going to have to use 2 because of the way that these loops connect, or the way they're facing. So if I hook this on like this, it's going to hang sideways, and we don't want that. So let me grab one more jump ring, and we'll go ahead and make it hang correctly. Okay, so there we have it, just like this. Whoops. Okay, make sure your jump ring's closed up good. So there's that. Now we're going to connect this one on. I haven't quite figured out how I want to connect these other two on. I just want them to be just little charms basically, but I don't want them to hang really low, but they need to be up here because if they're hanging down here, I'm going to have to put a bunch of jump rings and then they're going to hang behind my leaf. So I think I might attach this one directly to that with a jump ring, a bigger jump ring maybe. This is like an 8mm or 10mm. And is it going to hang the right way? I always have to put these on here and look. Yes, it will. So I'm just going to attach it right here. We're just kind of making a little charm tassel here. And then this one, I might, well, no, probably will put up there just with a small jump ring as well. So it stays kind of up toward the top. So let's do that. Let's just attach him on and we'll see how it looks. Okay. So there they are. And it does. It just makes kind of a little charm tassel. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these ball head pins and we're going to make some dangles with our little bicones. So I'm just bending that 90 degrees, taking my round nose pliers and grabbing it in the bend here. Then I'm coming up and over, gives you kind of a little question mark shape. Then my pliers were horizontal, I'm rotating them vertical and then coming right under here. And when you do, it gives you a little loop. I'm going to grab that loop with my pliers, and you can either use other pliers, or if your ball head pin is thin enough, you can use your fingers. And I'm just making a little wrapped loop here. Okay, you can wrap as many times or as few times as you want. And then I'm just going to trim this right off, just like that. Okay, and I'm going to do that with these other three as well. But the very bottom one, I want to hang one right from here. And I want it to hang directly from the loop that's on the back of that leaf and not from a jump ring, just because I don't want it to hang down so far. So we'll do it now. So I'm doing the loop the same exact way, except for I'm not going to close it yet. I'm going to go ahead and insert it on here after my loop is made. I think I am. Get it on here. There we go. Now, let me look and make sure. Yeah, that'll hang down just fine. And then I'm just going to grab, same as I would have before, right here where they crisscross, and wrap. And that just wraps him directly onto this link, and I don't have to use a jump ring. And the reason I just didn't want it to hang down so low is it would have if I used a jump ring on it. So I'm going to wrap around, if I can get it to hold still. One more time. It's kind of hard to do when you are hanging it from something. And then I'm just going to cut this off. Okay. So that's going to give me that little dangle down there on the bottom. Now go ahead, if your wire is poking out, make sure that you tuck it in, because we don't want it to snag anybody or your clothes or anything like that. And sometimes these are hard to tuck. I'm having trouble today with my right wrist and my right arm hurting, which probably means it's going to rain. Usually when it's going to rain, they just hurt. So, okay. Now I'm going to make the other two. And this one, do I want to hang it directly from there? I think I do. I think I'm going to do that again. Same thing, just go up and over, rotate up. And these eye pins, just so you know, They're actually antique bronze, not copper. Um, if you don't have copper in everything, a lot of times you can use antique bronze minimally with it, and nobody's going to know the difference. They're really close in shade, you know. If it's just a little bit, like these little ball head pins, that's not going to be obvious enough for anybody to say, oh, you know, that looks terrible. She used antique bronze with copper. It's just, they're just not that noticeable. Another color that you can use is rose gold. So see, I have these rose gold findings because I didn't have any copper, but rose gold looks really pretty with copper. So don't limit yourself just because you don't have the exact metal. A little bit of antique bronze, if you have to use antique bronze head pins or eye pins or, you know, some jump rings or something with your copper, it's really not going to be a big deal, okay? So just keep that in mind. Okay, we're going to make this last one. Something just fell over in the kitchen and about gave me a heart attack. Okay. And cut this right off. Alright, so now I do have a couple here that I need to attach with a jump ring, and I'm going to take the smaller jump rings. These are 4mm. I do have these tiny jump rings available on my website if anybody's interested in them. They are little tiny things, and I like to use them sometimes because they're just not so noticeable. And I'm just going to attach right here on the top of that leaf another one of the little jump ring or little bicones. And then on this one, I think I'm just going to attach it right here to the jump ring that's holding that. So another small one. And where do I want this one to go? Yeah, right here, I think. Goodness. I've even got my glasses on and I still can't see what I'm doing. Okay. All right. So there we go. We have a little dangle here with some charms and some bicones. Okay. And that's all we're going to do for this little part. Now we're just going to lay this right here. And the next thing we're going to do is create, actually, oh, okay, I was going to say I need 4 of those. I thought I had them out. So you're going to grab your eye pins now, and we're going to create a couple of little flower links that we're going to use. There's a big truck out front. I don't know what it's for. Okay, so we're going to do our bicone, then our flower. Now this flower does have a top and a bottom, so I'm making sure that the top is facing up, a bead cap facing the flower, and a bead cap facing away from the flower. So here's what I have, okay? I am going to create another loop here. I probably will go ahead and do a wrapped loop if I can get away with it with this tiny head pin. Let me see. I may not be able to, but I would really like to. There's not much there left to wrap, but actually I think I can get a little bit if I can get in there with my pliers. There's a big truck outside. I have no idea. It's kind of in front of my neighbors, so I don't think they're coming here. I don't know why they would be. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and turn this, wrap this the best that I can. I really want to try to get it wrapped around as many times as possible, but this is very difficult to get a hold of. Sorry if you guys are hearing banging. I don't know what they're doing out there. It's some big truck in front of our house. They're kind of in front of our house and kind of in front of the neighbors, but don't know what it is. Okay. All right, that's as good as that's gonna go. Okay, so here's what we've got. We've got this little flower piece. I'm gonna do the same thing with my other one. I should have used longer head pins. I was trying to use the head pins from the box, but these are really not that long. Not for wrap loops anyway. But if you fight with it, you can make it work. Just takes a little fighting. And a weird looking loop, which isn't really going to show anyway, so it's okay. I kind of wanted to do the wrapped loop just because it's a little more secure. And when you can wrap effectively, which I'm not doing right now, I am failing at it, but when you can wrap effectively, it goes down, wraps down tight enough, and it can keep your beads together, and that was what I was going for, but it's not working. These eye pins just are too tiny for this. All right, and the truck's gone. I have no idea what they dropped off, but they're gone. Okay. So that's as good as that's gonna get. Okay. Sad, sad, sad. Okay. So now what we're going to do, and I really wanted to put one of these bicones here on either side of this. So I'm gonna grab a couple more eye pins. Just because I like the green in there. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm not gonna make a wrap loop on this one because the one end's just a regular loop. So I'm just gonna do a regular loop here. Just making a small connector is all. With these these bicones. Okay, so there's that one. I just like the way they look on the this part right here because they're down here. It just kind of draws it all together. Draws your eye up that way. Okay. There we go. All right. So I'm going to use, again, small jump rings. These tiny little guys. And I'm going to hook all this together. Okay? So we're just going to take our little jump ring. We're going to hook this right onto here. Close it up. Same thing on the other side. Okay. And then I'm going to hook all these together. I think I may hook this directly on here because I'm wanting it to look kind of like the stem of this flower. So I think I'm just going to hook this one directly on. And then this directly, well no, I can't hook it directly onto that, can I? Because I used a wrapped loop. So we'll have to use a jump ring. It's alright, doesn't really matter. Okay, so right in there, and I need to trim that snaggle off because it is not wrapping around again. It's done. Let's see if I can get in there and just trim it a little bit. Yeah, it's like I'm not going around there again. No matter what you do, you're not going to make me. There we go. Okay. All right. So there's one side. Let's do the other side same way. So I attach this directly on. And I like to pick this up and lay it back down and just make sure everything's laying flat. And then attach this one right onto this one. So just like this. Okay, and there we have it. What a cute little focal piece. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to bead on up here using our bead stringing wire. Where did it go? Here it is. My beads are everywhere. Okay. So I'm just going to take a length for this side, probably, I mean, we're not going to bead up a whole lot on this. I'll probably do about 9 inches just to make sure that, well, let's do 8. I don't want to waste a lot of it, just to make sure that I have enough. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 8-inch pieces. Okay. Now, this is just a regular loop, and I really like to attach beading wire onto a closed ring if I can, because I don't want to take a chance on it really coming loose, or at least a thicker jump ring. This I'm a little afraid of, so I'm going to pull out, I have a couple of rings here in my jump ring container that are just thicker and I think will be good for the bead stringing wire, because I'm just kind of afraid of hooking it directly onto this. I'm afraid this, you know, if that would come open or it would slip out, it'd be better hooked onto this. So I'm going to put these 2 jump rings on here. And I know these are open jump rings too, but I feel like I can close these up better. And I won't have to worry about that bead stringing wire slipping through as much. And it will have a wire guardian on it too, so that'll add some thickness. But it's thin stuff, so I just want to be sure that it'll stay in there. So I've got that closed pretty good. Okay, let's do this other side. So any ring you have, even if it's a closed ring, you can attach it with a small jump ring, and then it'll just be a little safer for your bead stringing wire. And I'm sorry I didn't mention that in the beginning, but this is kind of a design with me necklace, because if I had already made it, I wouldn't have the beads to make it. So I come across things like that as I'm working sometimes that I didn't think of in the beginning when I was laying everything out. Come on now. There we go. That's how you know it's closed up pretty good, because it makes that clicking noise. Okay. So there that is. I'm going to take my stringing wire and grab my crimps and wire guards here. And I'm going to go ahead and put a crimp on, and then this wire guard on. So you put your little crimp on, then you go up and around this little channel in your wire guard. I am going to hook this directly onto this ring, just like that. So I'm going to go back down through my crimp tube now. I'm going to pull that up a little. I just don't want that much hanging out. Okay, so here's what we've got. So you want to scoot your bead up. If you're having trouble with this popping up above your wire guard, like your wire sticking up, you're not getting it pulled tight down here. So you need to just hang on to it with your fingers and not let it go. Okay, and we're just going to, I'm trying to make sure it's not crisscrossed. That's kind of important too. Try to make sure that your wires aren't crossed. You can't always do it, but like right now I can. So I'm going to grab my crimpers, and I'm going to lay it in this last divot in the back, and I'm going to crimp it down. And when I do, it puts each of the little wires in its own little channel. Okay, now I'm going to turn this vertically, and I'm just going to close it up. And there we have perfect little crimp. And I'm going to do that on both sides. So same thing on this side, crimp tube, wire guard. I swear I do have my glasses on, guys. I just still can't see very good. We went to the DMV yesterday and they were like, yeah, your vision's great. I'm like, I don't know what they were thinking, but I wasn't going to argue with them. There we go. I'm going to put this right on like we did the other one. And slide our crimp tube up. Now see how mine's sticking up there a little bit? I've had a lot of people say this problem. You just got to slide your crimp tube up and pull your wire tight and hold it all at the same time. Okay, so do that. Get your pliers in there, pull it tight, crimp it down. Turn them vertically and close your crimp. All right, and there it is. So we've got both sides, and now we're going to do our beading. So let me grab these out of the way because we'll use them at the end. Okay, so I think what I want to do here, I didn't really like these bead caps on these purple beads right here because I felt like these were big for these, but I would kind of like, I may set it in there anyway. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a bicone. Okay, then we're going to do the bead cap facing the bead and the purple quartz bead. Now I'm not going to do a bead cap facing down on the bead because I think that would cover up too much of the bead, number one. And number two, this kind of looks like a flower, so I kind of want to keep it that way. All right. Now I'm going to do 3 of these lighter ones. I love these coin beads. They're just beautiful. Okay, so 3 of the lighter coin beads. Just make sure you press everything down. Make sure it's all the way down at the bottom of your wire. And then I'm going to do another one of these. Do I want to use this with it again? Let me look. My camera is telling me I don't have enough space left, so let's finish this quick. Going to crimp it. Turn it vertically and close that crimp up. And trim that off, okay? And here's what we've got. Now I'm going to hold it up on me, make sure it's not too long. It's not, it's pretty perfect right there. So we're going to put our toggle on. And I'm just taking a couple of jump rings, probably these little 8mm ones here, just because they're a little thicker. And I'm just going to put my cute little toggle bar on here. And my cute little toggle ring. Okay. Yeah, when my camera says not able to capture media, that means you are running out of room. All right, there we go. And what a cute little necklace this makes. Now, I am going to do a bracelet and earrings to go along with this. So if you have not subscribed and rung the bell, you're not going to know when I upload those things. So subscribe to the channel, make sure you ring the bell. Let me put this on a form and I will show it to you. Okay, so welcome to my light box. Here we are. There is our finished necklace. I think it turned out super cute. And yeah, I have all the information available in the description box below for Bargain Bead Box if you want to subscribe. And like I said, you need to ring the bell and subscribe to my channel or you will not know when I upload the videos of the earrings and the bracelet, and I have both of them laid out. So I'm going to get this video uploaded and clear off some space on my camera, and I will be back to do those videos. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.